The next topic we're going to get into is the AFC West and how disappointing it's been. I mean, prior to this season, we've thought that the AFC West would be just such a great division, and I mean, the Broncos have underperformed. The Raiders, they're kind of like up in the air. They've underperformed, and Josh McDaniels hasn't been able to really put together a solid resume for them. And then we have the Chiefs and the Chargers. I mean, the Chiefs pick up where they left off last year, and but the Chargers, they're also kind of another team where we talked about a lot, where it's like, how do you have all this talent and it doesn't translate to the field? So
Yeah, I mean, look, Chiefs is the only team that's worth anything at this point. Not saying the others can't get on track, but the Chiefs have been rolling. It was supposed to be one of the more competitive football divisions in football, and you have some of the worst teams there, like the Chiefs and the Broncos and the Raiders are just horrible. I mean, they're in contention for being the worst teams in the league. The Chargers can't stay healthy, and they find ways to
to lose
lose
games,
games.
they're in their own way.
Yeah, even though a lot of them will be close, they just haven't been able to find ways to win. I've seen people talking about how money wise, this division spent like $1 billion to beat Patrick Mahomes, and they're all failing. They can't beat the even the other opponents that they're playing. So you bring in all these Russell Wilson, you bring in on the team that the Broncos, the thought was the only
Quarterback
thing they're
away.
missing is the quarterback. Their offense isn't clicking. You bring in Russell Wilson, it's the same exact situation. Your offense isn't clicking. Your defense is still one of the best in the league. That's pretty sad. Raiders, you go and get Devontae Adams. You take him away from Green Bay. Devontae Adams wanted to come to the Raiders. I mean, it was his decision. He wanted to play with his old college quarterback in Derek Carr. They've been able to click and put up some numbers together, but it's not been
It's
enough.
not, yeah, it's not enough.
It's not been enough, and the rest of the team has been, sporadic at best. And then look, we keep talking about the Chargers already today, about how they just can't find a way to win these games. As a whole, the division is pretty disappointing. We talked earlier in the year about some of the best divisions this year, and it's like the AFC East and the NFC East, really. And then you have other disappointing divisions like this AFC West, similar to in some ways the NFC West, where these teams are just not performing, and they're supposed to be coming in
pretty good.
with that they going to be pretty good teams. So
Yeah, it's kind of weird, and I guess you could kind of point to the coaching changes because I mean, rookie head coaches fairly kind of struggle early on, but there's usually a stint where it's like, all right, they're picking it up, and we still haven't seen it with Nathaniel Hackett. A lot of the times, I mean, he looks lost out there. I don't wish for anybody to lose their job, but I think his job may be at question after the season, considering they'll look at the whole body of work, maybe.
I mean, the Broncos, they might need to pull a Jim Irsay here and just bring back an old player. They might need to, hey Peyton, get in there, coach the team. These guys don't know
I
anything about
mean,
football.
yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I mean, maybe that may be the case. They did it with Josh McDaniels when he started off. He was what was he? He was 6-0, and they found out that he was looking at other people's film, and he had people looking at, or he had people filming other people's practice. I mean, I guess he took the Patriots way with him, and then after that, once they found out and he wasn't able to do that, they just completely just imploded, and they ended up getting rid of him. But I guess Nathaniel Hackett is. I guess he has a long leash, but it's just like I don't understand how we're already in this week and he still has a job. It's kind of crazy to me, but hey, I mean it beats me. And then Staley is he's it's weird with Staley because he's not a horrible coach, but he just does a lot of questionable things, and it's like
Yeah, he's not a bad coach, but it's almost one of those things where, okay, is it really Staley? Nah, it's kind of like it just didn't work that time, and then he
nah,
does it again. I guess it just didn't work that time. I guess it just at some point it's like, all
take the
right,
points.
at some point, not even just take the points. At some point, it's like it is the coach.
Yeah.
You know, like how many times can you not convert something that the analytics told you were supposed to convert? Because on one hand, it's like, oh, well, the numbers say we should be able to do it at this rate. Okay, but then you're not doing it. So then it falls back on the coach at that point. Because it's like, you know, the
your
numbers,
coach instincts has to kick in at some
one
point.
if the percentage say something and you go for it and it doesn't work, it's like you could kind of fall back on the numbers. But when none of the numbers work, then what are you doing?
Yeah, then it's like
you know. So yeah, he needs to turn it around. Otherwise, they're gonna get rid of him and try to bring someone in who can do the job.